There we are. Go. Good evening, everybody. It's Monday. It's 7 p.m. It's the 13th of April, 2026. Welcome to the boundary pushing experience that makes Artemis 2 look like you're just nipping to the shops for some kitchen roll and stain remover. Yes, it's your A&DBBL Monday Night Roundup. My name is Scott, not that one, and I'm here tonight to share the Week 11 Blood Bowl action from this year's Season 10. Just the 6 games to review this evening, but there's 6 games which encapsulate all that is incredibly exciting about Season 10 so far. With me tonight, 2 coaches who have read all about journeys to the edge and back, pushing that envelope. First of all, it's the coach who put the O in Stowe Market, the coach who has more insider knowledge and trading considerations of IT systems than AI itself. It's the man, it's the coach of the Black Shuck Ballers. Please give a very warm welcome, Mr. Tom Hovell. How are you this evening, Tom?
Good evening, how are you? Yeah, all good. Starved of Blood Bowl because of unfortunately not being able to attend a tournament and also unable to read a calendar correctly, and thought that I was meant to be playing last Friday when in fact it's this Friday. So looking forward to tonight.
So there you go. If anyone else is in Tom's league group this season, just remember, you turn up, he doesn't turn up, you win by default. Just saying. Secondly, now we were going to double our Tom quota. Once again, we were going to be joined by the champ, the coach of the Honor Ones, Mr. Tom Huns. However, Mr. Huns and the doubling of our Tom quota has had impact on our insurance policy. So as a result, if doubling the Tom quota wasn't enough, let's give you double your Scott attendance, returning for a second consecutive appearance. It's the coach who puts the grr in green. It's the coach of the drumsticks himself, Mr. Scott Fabulous Norman. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Scott.
How are you this evening?
Full of sausage, but you know, maybe that's for the After Dark podcast you guys do. But yeah, pretty good.
Absolutely. So anybody wants to know about the After Dark, please drop a note to Mr. Tom Hovell. He will send you the link and the various payment methods you need as well. Welcome to everyone in chat, whether you're on Twitch, whether you are an A&DBBL coach or you're from the wider Blood Bowl collective. Good evening and welcome. If like myself and Mr. Scott Norman, if you were one of the 36 individuals who, let's be honest, should know better, but are better for not knowing that, we're at this weekend's fantastic Ipswich Classic. Fear not, Chris and Luke will be recording a classic review and roundup for publication later this week to satisfy all of your Ipswich-esque cravings. I'm going to give some call outs first. And again, firstly, you don't have to be called Scott or Tom to play in the A&DBBL. Other names are perfectly acceptable. We accommodate all sorts, all names and all types, including Andy's, Simon's and Justin's, to name a few. Remember, Aardvarks and Dragons is in Woodbridge, Suffolk. It's the centre of our Blood Bowl universe. Go there, spend money, play some Blood Bowl for your alibi. Enjoy the finer things in life. Look, yes, it's here. It's red. It's the A&DBBL hat, and there's only one place to get them. Whether you want a black Aardvarks and Dragons, or a white Aardvarks and Dragons, or even a grey Aardvarks and Dragons cap, get yourself down there. Find some fine hatwear. A reminder as well for charity: if you do want a good-looking end zone and not to be called out and mocked by yours truly, Mr. Tom Huns, please order one from Graham. Make a great donation to an incredibly worthy cause, which is the Trussell Bank Foundation as well. Reminder, you can place bounties on any particular player. Luke Baggett now has a bounty on his head as well. If you want to donate, pop into store or contact Chris, Luke, or Mr. Scott Phipps, our notoriously wonderful collective of leadership. They will be able to point you in the right direction and separate you from your money with a smile and a love in their hearts. Drop us a note in Discord if you want anything else as well. We're going to go through all 6 matches shortly. We're going to cover Game of the Week, Coach of the Week, and the player who both Scott and Tom think deserve a bounty for the next few matches as well. So without further delay, let's get straight into tour play. he says, collecting the right button. Now, last week we finished in the Assassins divisions. We're going to stay in the Assassins division for our first match of this evening as well. We've got top of the league, Mr. Tom Huns, the reigning champion, with his quite terrifying now Honored Ones, the Bretonians, up against Mitch, who's been really having a tough season with his Waldenhof Blood Knights as well. 2-1 win to the Bretonians. Mitch just, making the most of his Vargeist as well against what is now looking a very decent side. So, Tom, we'll go to you first as our resident vampire coach on the podcast tonight, on the stream tonight. Been a difficult season for Mitch so far. 3 rerolls that we've talked about, and the Vargeist, though, seeming to make a bit more of a tighter result than you'd expect against the reigning champ.
Yeah, absolutely. This looks, unfortunately, even though the score doesn't really resemble it, it looks like a little bit of a better game for Mitch and the Vampires, whereas previous games we've seen him hemorrhaging people left, right, and centre. Unfortunately, this is an interesting one actually because it, as you say, it looks like it's pretty close here for the fact that Tom scored on turn 5, which, to be brutally honest, is quite unusual for Tom, because I know he likes to play tactically. So clearly he was trying to get in a couple of quick games, but then got a equalizer. And this game is also unique on the basis that I think this is the first time we've ever seen stalling being recorded.
I was about to question that because the winnings are both 65k, so surely someone has been a bit cheeky there.
It does have an effect on your wins as well. You're absolutely right, Tom. Mr. Huns scoring usually what is earlier than he's traditionally, going for that classic 2-1 grind, trying to drag it out, after that 1 equalizer at turn 11. So good response from Mitch and the Vampires. Not quite enough to get there as well to make it quite to a 2-1 win or a draw for the Vampires as well. So Tom decided to take that risk that stall, risk being something thrown at him. And if I actually look, turn 14, so that would have been to roll a 6 on the dice to be knocked down. So obviously, statistically, he was relatively safe. Let's have a quick look at these teams, see how they fared on. As we come on to now, these are the Bretonians. Scott, what's your first take on how the Bretonians, how Tom has built them so far this season?
He's just going pure blodge on as many things as he can by the look of it, which is a former champ. He knows it works. It's quite meta, I suppose. They're the 2 best skills in the game, so why wouldn't you?
I'm particularly interested about the 2 squires. They look a bit dirty, one with frenzy and one with tackle. They're quite nice random re-rolls.
I think, definitely with the 3 re-rolls as well that Tom's got in here, only 3rd in the UK and 18th on tour play. Come on, Tom. I think tackle obviously gives any edge pieces. Wrestle and tackle is a great combination against any edge teams as well. Frenzy as well really does help in terms of giving you that sideline threat as well. The 6 Knights, the 6 Eyes, the Grail Knight now out against what is going to be the last match of the season for Tom. So that grab guard piece, Tom, playing the other Tom and his Bretonians as well, who hasn't played this week. Do you think that's going to impact him too much, Scott? Or do you think Tom's got these Bretonians set up enough to get into the... I think he is, he is actually, I can confirm, he is actually into the championship knockout as well. So congratulations, Tom. Do you think that's going to daunt him? Or is it just now it's better to get that missed next game out of the way now, before the knockouts?
Yeah, seeing he's already qualified. Has he got what 1 game left, was that?
I believe he's got 1 game left. Yes, he's got the other Bretonians.
It's a case of just don't get murdered going into the knockouts. So I think if we play relatively safe game coming up, he's got the treasury if anybody does snuff it or spaff it on rerolls because you've got your positionals. Yeah, I think he's looking favourable to go quite far as per usual.
He is indeed. Tom is in chat. Good evening, Tom. Me and Mitch agreed this was his best. The best his bloodlust had been all season. Said it still wasn't great. 15 SP on the Bretonian, 1 Bretonian knight, 13 on the other. If there's anything particular that you're going to do, Tom, you want to share with us a particular stat that you're looking for both of these two pieces, maybe a couple of more blodge knights. Let us know. Looking forward to it as well. So, Mitch, we've said still suffering from the bloodlust, still not as worse as before, though. I think he is looking for the season to end and really starting to plan for season 11. But in terms of some of what he's got as well, a Vargeist Tom with break tackle, so dodging out on that 2-up with claws, with, that's not too bad, surely, with frenzy.
Love it. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I wonder whether he's thinking of kind of bringing this team back in the next season, because that Vargeist and that Vampire runner with diving, catch, sprint, and sure feet, that's not bad either, is it?
No, he's giving himself that chat. I mean, sprint and sure feet gives him a great opportunity for that one touch as well. I know he's got EK. His passing's been stat busted on his vampire runner, but he does have a hatred elf and hatred troll. I know he is playing both, at least the elves to finish the season on as well. Good evening, Carl, in chat as well. Good evening, Andy. Welcome to this evening's Monday night roundup as well. So continued very good very good season for Tom. Looking forward to now to see how he progresses and makes those steps into the knockouts again. So we're going to stick then with a bit of Adge versus Bash. We are now going to the Horde group. We are now looking at Graham and his Elven Union against James and his Tomb Kings as well. James coming into this match on the back of a fine win against the other Tomb Kings of Leanne. And Graham really having a bit of a bounce back here after a bit of a stumble in his season so far. So, Tom, a great 2-1 win here for the Elves.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, Graham went off like a rocket at the start of the season, just, running around, taking all the wins, 3 wins in a row, and then a little bit of a stall, but back to winning ways by the looks of things, which is a good thing. Seems to be quite a quiet first half with just a single touchdown and a foul. But then everything started happening in the later stages, unfortunately for the Elves, with a lot of injuries suddenly going in. Luckily for the Elves, it was they were just linemen, which very kindly gave the Tomb Kings an extra player as well. So yeah, interesting game.
It was as well. Quite a bit of attrition for the Elves there, Tom, as you call out as well. And Scott, when we look at this from the Adge team, Graham doing what he's been doing a lot of the season, scoring relatively early to turn 4 on the start of the drive then, and then I'm assuming he's robbed the ball there. He's managed to sort of snatch it from the Tomb Guardians with his filthy edge and speed compared to the Tomb Kings, and then that second score coming quite early in the second half, turn 11, enough then to get him over that winning line.
Yeah, it's 2-0 is always nicer than a 1-0 because you've just got that bit of buffer. So, and I don't think he's going to be too phased about losing 3 linemen. They're easily to be replaced, I suppose. He's got a huge treasury; he'll be fine there. So, I think if anything, it's the Tomb Kings are probably going to be happy with who caused the casualties because that's the pieces you want leveling up. It's blitzers and the guardians. So.
As you said, Scott, let's have a look. 3 casualties and 1 death for the Elven Union. So let's take a quick look at the EFSF and Graham's team, see how they are shaping up at this moment. So he's got block on his 2 catches. He's got the one block sidestepper blitzer, and then the other one with dodge, hit and run, and now hatred for dwarfs, which is, as far as elves are concerned, not a bad thing. Catch and sprint, but you get a few niggling injuries in there. Despite the armor bust, 3 re-rolls, 12 players. Surely, Scott, that's enough for the elves, isn't it? Is that too much for these elves?
I mean, 12 players. Maybe grab another lineman, 13, because then you can lose one to casualty, you can lose one to a foul, and he's got the APOC. Might even have enough. I don't know how much is the lineman. He's
65.
65k.
there. You go, lineman and a reroll. And
Yeah,
you got
I'd also get rid of
money.
that armor 7 lineman as well. There's no
What's he ever done to you, Tom? Just because people aren't at their in their A game, you know, you can't just cast them out, mate.
We'll wait and see.
So whilst Graham got all his players, yeah, there's a few key ones there, you know, particularly Emma Sheen now with the niggling injury, although a blodge, you know, a block catch, diving catch, nerves of steel elf catcher is wonderfully filthy. Let's take a look at James to see how these Tomb Kings are coming along now. Scott, as you'd expect, and we've mentioned this now the last few times, looking very good. Just maybe that one casualty across a couple of players again, just moving these skills up to that next level as well.
Yeah, 3 Tomb Guardians on 6. I mean, 2 Tomb Guardians on 6 SPP. Looking for their second level up, and they've already got guard and block each. So you know, they're on the cusp of having everything they need to just make that filthy cage and just plod up the pitch. So.
He is. He's now got the guard, which is so key for the Tomb Guardians, plus the block on one of the other corners, plus another mighty blow there as well on his blitzer as well. Tom, what's your thoughts? Anything else you think James could benefit from for these big guys?
I don't know, really. I think he's doing the right thing with those skills and everything. So guard, especially, block potentially on them. Maybe add a bit of tackle there as well, just to make sure that they can keep things close. Or also maybe I wonder whether grab might be quite a useful little skill on these Tomb Guardians, so that if they get something, they could do it. They can just move it to another Tomb Guardian to punch their lights out. A good notice in chat that Chris is saying that he'd keep the armor 7 elf, but he'd be uphilling big guys for the rest of his life.
I think either that or there's your dirty player. If you need someone as a sacrificial sending off, that's the guy you want to send in for a foul as well every day of the week. Andy also making the very good suggestion, dirty player on a skeleton. Absolutely. Nothing like a bit of a healthy foul, Mr. Norman, to get you up in the morning.
I approve. 16 turns out of 16, you should be fouling.
There you go, everybody. If you're not fouling 16 turns out 16, you need to answer to Mr. Norman. So bounce back there from Graham, getting back to his winning ways, and as we'll come on to look at shortly, looking at that green W in the results box as well. So as if 2-2-1 wins in trot wasn't enough for you, we now come on to the Brewsburys, the Black Orcs with young Mr. Sam Smith up against very own Mr. Scott Norman here and the Drumsticks. So without further delay then, Mr. Norman, tell us, how good was it for you?
So obviously the dirty, rotten, uncultured menaces specifically trying increasingly convoluted kinetic schemes, to use their full title. We went into this just trying not to get hurt yet again. It is such a bashy meta. It's terrifying. And Black Orcs are, you know, even on an average day, they're going to absolutely, you know, ruin you. And that's exactly what they did. I got so lucky yet again with no major lasting injuries. But it was, it comes down to a Knuffle Tripwire to go 2-1 up in my favor. But obviously the Doom Diver decided to fall over turn 8 on the line. And then from that, the attrition and the Black Orcs did spectacularly. We're just protecting the ball and getting it to the end zone.
So in terms of that then, just to check that is Tim. So you've obviously scored first with the Doom Diver.
Yeah.
So lovely one to get that early. What was you thinking on that, Scott? Was it to get that 1-0 win and then pressurize for the turnover?
It was more I was getting hurt, so I needed to score, so he would stop punching me. it seems to be the theme of the season. Like, I'm scoring way too early for a team that has many secret weapons. But I'm going to have no players left if I try and dance around and stall, well, not stall, but, delay my throw teammate action. I have to do it early because I'm just getting absolutely pelted.
And did you win the roll-off, Scott? What did Sam?
I didn't, but they chose to kick it.
Okay. So Sam went for the bash game as well in that case. So despite that attritional match then, despite that pounding then by the Blackhawks, let's have a quick look at the drumsticks. What's your plans then, Mr. Norman? Obviously, you've said last time, just getting more SPP. Is it still as simple as that?
Well, we did all right. We got some SPP here and there and everywhere, and I'm just going to roll randoms and go devious and see what happens. The Goblin Linemen have an entire skill tree based around fouls, so I'm just going to spam that, hope for the best,
So
and maybe buy another troll because my CTV at the minute is like 825. Everyone else is 1100 to 1400. So even with a troll, I'm still getting the inducements.
Is it likely that we're going to see Morg or someone of similar nature in the next few games?
See, I'm tempted for a big star player, but I don't know. I think
You could take Ripper, then you
yeah,
and then
Ripper is solid. But I don't know. I kind of want to grow my guys.
And just to let you know, I approve the fact that you fouled even before turn 1 with the Doom Diver. How did that come about?
I think we just didn't hit start turn type thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I believe. Yeah.
A couple of suggestions from the Honeyman Carl in chat tonight. Going Hack Flem stroke Morg.
Yes, that's too meta. Like they're too good. I can't have them. They're too good.
Once you start going that way, you'll never look back.
just I know Leanne tried this a couple of seasons ago. What about taking Bomber and Ripper, and then obviously you can throw Bomber as well, can't you?
Yeah, I think he still has right stuff. So
yeah. Look, you heard it here first, everybody. So, Mr. Norman looking to randomize his fills. So, one question I did mean to ask, Scott, you're talking about randomizing there on the lineman. You've also got the Pogoer. Are you going to randomize the Pogo and Doom Diver as well?
Yeah, agility for those. I don't think the Pogoer has access to Devious, but he just needs Sure Feet or Sprint. Yeah, there's not a lot of bad skills in agility. I think hit and run wouldn't be ideal for a goblin, but
sidestep is always nice as well.
Yeah, but definitely after Nuffle tripwiring into the end zone, I really want Sure Feet on the Doom Diver.
Very nice. Sorry, Carl is saying Dribble Snot does still have the right stuff. So I think Ripper and Bomber.
Yeah, just tossing my snot up the pitch. That's the go-to tactic.
Let's have a quick look at Sam returning this season after a bit of a hiatus from the Blood Bowl action. Tom, what's your thoughts on Sam's development? A number of randoms on his blockers, but where it counts on his Black Orcs, he's got Guard, Mighty Blow, and Guard on the Train Troll as well, and Sneaky Git, Dewberry. That's always nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nice. Shame he's got thick skull on one of those Black Orcs. That was a bit of a wasted random on them, unfortunately. But yeah, Stanfoam and Juggernaut, as well as Wrestle and Guard, lovely. Yeah, and Mighty Blow. Yeah, as you say, they're really nice kind of formations. There's a really tight front row, especially with the Guard on the Troll as well. So yeah, I think that's a really nice play. Just interesting that he's only got 2 rerolls still, which again we've mentioned in previous conversations that may be a little bit too dicey. Maybe need to have an extra reroll just to make it a little bit safer.
Yeah, there is an interesting article out if any Blood Bowl fans want to on not the New Guys Please podcast, but on another fellow podcast. This is the Bonehead podcast discussing the situation in leagues where you've skilled up your players and all you've got to buy is rerolls. Well worth a listen if you want to as well. Commiserations again, Mr. Scott Norman. Congratulations, Mr. Sam Smith, for a win again, back 2-1. And we'll come and see shortly how that looks as well. So you've had 3. Let's have a look at number 4. Again, another 2-1 win. This time played over the weekend. This is Will and his continued bash campaign with these Orcs, who's really doing a great job with. Now against JD and the Skaven. So if you look at it, it wasn't quite a war of attrition for the Orcs. The Rats holding their own in terms of casualties. But where you'd think the Rats would have the advantage, Scott, in terms of their agility, a 2-1 win for Will and his Orcs. A really good result. I can see before you do, JD is saying in chat, dice suck. That's why we play Blood Bowl, JD.
Yeah, just going by the on paper, you're going to expect Skaven to score quick and often, and you're going to expect Orcs to punch and get the casualties, but that doesn't seem to be what happened. It seems really, really close. So I think JD is going to be quite happy that not many of his players got absolutely pelted.
It's interesting that he actually badly hurt the troll in turn 12 as well. So you kind of think, oh, the second half could have been there for the taking, where he obviously equalised in turn 12. He equalised, but clearly just couldn't break through and take the ball in.
It was, and especially as you look there, Tom, JD by turn, well, it looks like it after even turn 1 getting 2 casualties out of the Rats. So the more Rats you've got against Orcs, the better as well. So 1-0, obviously getting that quick early. Well, first of all, the quick early casualty with the Roger on the troll. Love to see a Roger, who I believe has claws as well for this. So beautiful choice there, JD. Again, as you said, Tom, recovering there to force the equalizer on turn 12. Couldn't quite get it. So very good management of the game from Will as well to get that fine 2-1 win. And despite the best efforts of a Roger injuring a poor defenseless Gobbo lineman, the Orcs managed to hold out. Let's take a quick look at the teams, how the guys are doing. We've mentioned Will before as a bit of a one to watch, a bit of a slow burner. Now, we've talked about Orcs a lot. We've talked about the 3 SPP, 4 casualties as well. As a fellow greenskin coach, what's your thoughts on these Orcs from Will, Scott?
They're looking quite tasty. There is some massive SPP on a couple of players. His thrower seems to be just scoring touchdowns for the fun of it, which is you've got brawling brutes. Like
you're playing the wrong game.
Yeah, so lean into that. More punch, more points, more skills. But yeah, there's the big blocker with 11 SPP. It's already got block, so I'm wondering where that's going. Are you holding out for a stat increase?
What would you
two
prefer
casualties away
your
from
stat increase? How about an Edge 3 big unblocker?
Oh, that'd be filth. Do that.
They've already got Edge 3, so it might be an Edge 2 big unblocker.
I was thinking of the big unblocker here, Tom.
Oh,
Edge
okay.
4, get that to Edge 3,
Sorry,
get break tackle on it as well, and therefore that's an absolute filth machine.
Well, put extra strength on it, so you got strength 5 with block. That's pretty tasty, and mighty blow.
There's so many options. Like they're going to brew up really tasty. And again, Treasury is looking. He's got an APOC. The Treasury. He's got enough for 2 rerolls if he fancied it. Just 5 rerolls with team captain.
That's very nice, isn't it? Yeah. Andy, good evening, Andy. Andy makes a great call out. It's a troll without, if he goes to that strength increase to go to strength 5, it's a troll without a nega trait. Oh dear indeed. I like this team. I think Will's done a really good job how
Yeah.
he's shaping this team. I think that strip ball, mighty blow, block, break, tackle combination on the blitzer, who we've called out before, is absolutely filth. I think having block, break, tackle, and mighty blow is very interesting on the blitzer. The one personally I would, if I was developing this team, I'd be looking at a sprinkling of tackle, really, to give a bit more filth against any potential edge teams he's got coming against them. Andy's made good evening, Andy. Finest son of Kesgrave in chat as well. Oh my God, I still need to play them stunty food. Indeed, it could all well be as well. But yeah, interesting inducement money. So we've looked at the Orcs then. Let's have a quick look at how the Skaven are still holding up. JD, good evening, JD in chat, saying the Roger had claws after this. However, I was looking at this team earlier, and the only one I think in terms of I think where he either hasn't rolled a decent skill, and it's not that bad. If you look at the gutter runner, the two gutter runners, one has leap, sidestep, sure feet. That's his one turn touchdown filth. The other gutter runner, safe pair of hands, wrestle as well. Safe pair of hands, yeah, it's okay, but there are lots more others out there. He's got kick and wrestle strip ball on one of the blitzers. The other blitzer, they're dauntless, mighty blow, and hatred. Sorry, hatred. I was trying to read and talk at the same time, and multitasking is a skill I have yet to master. John, what's your thoughts on these Skavens as you often champion them, the guaranteed 4-0 win?
Well, quite frankly, they need to leave some skills for the rest of us, by the looks of things, because that's just literally taking up the whole book. If you're going to be playing against JD, make sure you know your skills. There's a lot of skills on them. I don't know whether there's any that jump out at anyone as a good combination. You Scott, which one?
There's a couple I love the gutter run. I think as a one turner. I love the Skaven throw, which will support the one turn as well. In terms of accurate cannoneer, nerves of steel. However, I like the fact that you've got on the ball. I think it's a really, really good throw. Dump off is possibly less good as effective as it used to be. Although even if you're in a tackle zone with a 2 up, with one maybe or two, it's still a 3 or a 4 up for a quick pass to get rid of that ball as well, to possibly one of those with catch. So I think there's a lot to like in terms of this play as well. Yes, you've got a strength 2 Skaven line, right? And you've got one missing next game, but hey, you've got 285k, 4 rerolls. What's not to love? I think for me, the key thing is going to be, so we can see in the results, JD had an absolute blistering start to the season, draw against Andy, and then a bit of a couple of tough matches against Acredes and Will as well. He's also got strength 2 on his, that is his big guy killer. So we'll look at how many 2 or even 3 dice uphills that little rat fella is going to do. So good luck, JD. I'm sure we'll see a bounce back from these rats as well. So what have we had tonight? Well, we've had lots of 2-1 wins, and guess what? We're going to go for another 2-1 win. This time against for Simon and his Orcs, the Gorge Forge Smashers. Sorry about that. Against Joe in his inaugural season and campaign against the Nighty Hoes, the Bretonians as well. I saw the feedback in chat. Simon saying that yes, he got the 2-1 win. He said, but Joe is improving every single game and really, really made him work for this win. And if the dice had gone another way on another game, the result, Scott, could have been very, very different indeed. What's your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, it looks close. Clearly the the Orcs biased ref just didn't show up because there's 2 sending offs there. So you were the Orcs were doing everything they could.
Isn't that a biased ref for the Bretonians?
Or it might be. Hang on.
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, the the Orcs were getting sent off by the look of it. So they were doing everything they could to help out the Bretonians, it seems.
They were indeed. And Tom, if we just look at that, it was the biased ref. Yeah, despite that didn't put Simon off. Plenty of fouls. Touchdown again, controlled after turn 8. And despite just a couple of injuries on and missing players on the Squires, again, early score, or relatively early score, to bring it back and give the Bretonians a touchdown. But again, Simon, with that Orc blitzer, managing to see out the game for a good 2-1 win.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting that throughout all of these games, there's been lots of casualties, but fortunately for most teams, it's been just the linemen that have taken the hit. In this instance, unfortunately, a night thrower was taken out on turn 14. And by the looks of things, it's clearly worked for the Orcs, because they go away with 17 SPP, which is a nice bundle and a win as well.
They have indeed as well. Let's have a quick look at the Bretonians. We've got now some interesting development that Joe is taking. He's got all of his key night pieces available for next match. Tackle block in terms of the randoms, block kick in terms of another random. So very good skills, which give his team very good dynamics as well. Just to pause there, gents. We're sort of 11, week 11 now into season 3. The first appearance for the Bretonians. Now they've been removed from leagues, from teams of legend into the current league setup. Where would you rate them? Yes, no, positive, negative, pros, cons? Mr. Scott Norman, what do you think? What do they make any difference to you? Obviously, because they're not green, but what's your thoughts on them?
They have the Green Knight, don't they? I mean, but I like them. I like how they look. I think they're fantastic. The sculpts on them are great. The whole theme of them, how like you can hit them as hard as you want, but on a 6, they're going to stay upright. That's a nice gimmick. But I feel, I don't know if they're missing something, but I don't know. There's something extra they need. I don't know if it's a big guy or something, but there's I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. They seem great, but then they don't seem to be performing as well as they should when you look at them on paper.
What do you think about that, Tom? Sorry to interrupt. Leanne is in chat. Good evening, Leanne. We'll get to your game shortly. She makes the point, and it's a very important one as well. It was Joe's first touchdown in his first season. Joe, well played, sir. Well played. Very well played indeed. A bit too squishy, Joe says. Armor 8, best armor in the game, isn't it, for all elf coaches? Sorry, Tom. What's your what? I'm not saying that, Leanne, what you put in chat, because I know that Tom Feeks may be listening, and I don't want to give him the bait. Tom, what's your thoughts on Bretonians?
I think they're a kind of strange one on the basis that there's quite a lot of throwing skills in there, but I haven't seen a lot of people doing any like lots of throwing the ball around. And a bit like what Scott said, I don't think we've quite worked out where they sit in the kind of what do you do with them, because they're not full bashy, but equally they're not full edge. So it's an interesting one there. It's be interesting to see how they come out with different skill tactics and like combinations. Yeah,
it's definitely an interesting one. We talked about at the start of the season how there were lots of different ways. We've obviously seen some players struggling with them. We've seen some players like Mr. Hans having a phenomenal season with them as well. Maybe some average dice rolls and a bit more challenging in terms of how they are managed as well. But apparently they have lots of potassium in their diet, according to Leanne, but we'll take her word for that. Let's move away then from Bretonians into the Orcs. Young Mr. Simon Stevens, one of the linchpins of teachers that we have, educating the next generation. Whether that's all for good or for bad, we will never know, but they do their best. So Simon here had a very interesting season, developing his Orcs very nicely. Scott, what's your thoughts on these? He's obviously got team captain on a big unblocker. He's got 3 rerolls, a dirty player, Goblin Limer, which is a must. And he's starting to build them up as well. Is there a risk that he's maybe saving a bit too much SPP, and should coaches be spending it as soon as they can?
See, it all depends who's got it. Like, if you're a resilient player, armor 10, I don't know, thick skull, something that's going to survivability. You can gamble and keep pushing the SPP up and up and up. So I don't think it's a bad idea, especially with the players that have the high SPP on his roster. Like, I think just keep going, keep banking it.
Yeah. If we just look at how many matches Simon has played now, so he started off against the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. John Reader. And if I say that name 2 more times, Mr. John Reader, Mr. John Reader. So usually he appears in chat like the candy man of Suffolk that he well and truly is. But if we look at it, after that very challenging start, 3 wins, then again challenge against Mr. John Reader, so match 4 and then 5. So he's still got a number of matches to go as well. Do you think he's got plenty of games there, Tom, to accrue a bit more SP before he decides to spend it, maybe ahead of the knockouts?
Yeah, definitely. He's got 2 more games, I think, and he's second in the league in his group. So it's an interesting one because he's got good skills on key players, who in fact are the ones with all the SPP. You know, there's block on that big and blocker with 10 SPP there, for example, and then another one has got block as well. So, and they're quite difficult to knock out. And I think he might be up against Phil with his humans, and I think Jane with her Skaven. So, you know, they're potentially squishy teams who might not necessarily want to face off against them. So I would hold off until at least for another game before spending that.
I think this is a filthy genius, having tackle and break tackle. I think all he needs now is dive in tackle to complete the full set, and I think that'll be a very, very good piece in terms of for a blitzer as well. Good evening, Carl makes the point. I think saving for stat increases is worth it this edition. Now you can't random secondaries. It is very interesting as well. But going back to the result, again, congratulations, Joe, on a very, very fine first touchdown as well. Joe, obviously, increasing in terms of his confidence and his results and really pushing experienced coaches all the way in these matches. Congratulations, Simon, in terms of another well-deserved win. So we've had several 2-1s, and why break the trend? Let's stick with it. Actually, let's not. See, sorry, looking at the wrong game. Let's break that trend and let's move on to what is not a 2-1, but what is a very, very close and very exciting 1-1 draw. Andy facing off against Leanne, Dwarfs against Tomb Kings. 1-1, exceptionally close, 1 death each. Scott, great win for Leanne against a very, very challenging Dwarf side from Andy.
Yep, Dwarves are tough, especially to break down. So I love the irony of the fact that the team are called At Least They Don't Die Often, and then turn 2, 1 dies, only to then come back as a skeleton. So I guess the name does hold up.
And maybe the attraction of playing for the Hammer after Hammers was not something not even death could forestay.
Yeah, so I think Leanne has really found the team for her, which again is great, but you should have stuck with goblins. So, but no, like this is a close match back and forth. The SPP is like almost identical. Like that's a proper scrappy 1-1.
Yeah, what I want to call out as well, I saw some notes in Discord about this game as well, and it was very evident from both coaches who played that they had a really, really good game. And I think when both coaches can come away from having a really good game, then I think it speaks volumes for our community as well. We'll come on to look at the Dwarves and Andy shortly. Let's have a quick look at how Leanne is really developing these Tomb Kings as well. And if we just look, Tom, at Leanne's last 4 games. So, 1-1, drawn 2, lost 1. That's a rich vein of form for any team.
Absolutely, yeah. You see, practice makes perfect, and it's starting to pay off here. Because again, you go up to look at her team, and there's a plethora of additional skills on there. A lot of very nice randoms with mighty blows galore on key players: break, tackle, block, leader, pro fend and tackle on it. It's just unfortunate that the person that died in her team was a blitzer, but I think she's got enough here to carry on with that without him. So it's a really nice kind of setup on here.
Leanne in chat, or Goblins Forever, and oh yeah, eat my dust. Quick question, Scott. Should Leanne be looking maybe at this stat busted Tomb King's thrower? She's got the money in the bank in terms of if now she wants to replace him, or maybe look at the second. Well, she's got 2 throwers already, but maybe look at the second Tomb King Blitzer.
Yeah, I was looking at that. If you've got a gap for a positional, especially something as pivotal as a blitzer, like by all means grab it, because if you lose your other blitzer, that's not great. So having 2, if you can, why not?
Yep. So you've got 1 thrower with your block leader. So for that extra reroll, you'll have then another block piece with that Tomb King Blitzer, and obviously your other thrower, movement 5. Yeah, and then they'll come with all the skills in the bag anyway, and that infamous armor 9. But with that additional square of, with the additional 2 squares of movement, or 1 square of movement, up to movement 6 as well. So, yeah, a great game from Leanne. I believe there was a 1-1 from the dwarves. The dwarves failing at enough that reroll, which gave Leanne the opportunity.
Yeah. Perfect.
I did see that dropped in chat how it was a pivotal snake eyes for the result.
Very good indeed. Andy, in terms of these filthy looking dwarves, 1.5 million now. So Scott, if you do end up playing these guys,
That's double my team almost. That's double my CTV. Just shy.
It was indeed. Tom, how filthy and how scary is this team looking despite the loss of tackle as we go into season 3?
Yeah, this is horrific, isn't it? Even with the death roller as well. So it's sickening looking at this team. So, but it's just so interesting to hear what Scott was saying about his the matchup. The mind boggles of how many inducements can you put into it, like a halfling master chef and a star player, maybe.
It is looking it's looking like a very interesting team as well. Taunt and tackle on 1 dwarf lineman to hold it on that line of scrummage. Fend, wrestle, strip ball, dauntless. So interestingly, some really nice random rolls there as well on the dwarfs. It will be interesting how other coaches play next, particularly with that high level of cash that they will have as incentives. According to Leanne, they were tough little biggers. A low is just bouncing into my head now in terms of the French policeman, so I'll just leave it there tonight. But yeah, as we'll come on to see, that has a very interesting impact in terms of the league and in terms of future games as well. So we did move away from a 2-1 win, but hey, why not? Let's go back to another 2-1 in. This is the Avengers
Assemble
group. He hasn't lost it, everybody. Don't you worry. He hasn't lost it. Some people might say he never had it to start with, but he hasn't lost it. This is Coach Acredes, the Amaranthine Sanguivores, Vampires, against Nick and his Inglorious Custards from Nurgle as well. A 2-1 win for the Vampires. They looks like they had a bit of a tough day at the office. 3 casualties, 2 injuries against, but they managed to hold out, Scott, for the 2-1 win. So despite what Coach Acredes is saying about rerolls, he's still getting the wins.
Yeah, I'm wondering how the weather came into it, because it was sweltering heat. So
they went straight into standard again.
Oh, it did. Well, never mind.
Yeah, he's very lucky on the kickoff by the looks of things.
Yeah, and again, lucky with the deaths. It was just thralls. Was that casualty based or was it bloodlust based?
I don't know.
It looks like there was a foul by Nick. Sorry, that was the casualty, the injury. So Scott obviously getting the first injury as well. Then it looks like, I assume that was the Pestigore. Was it a foul with the injury? Then you get a casualty from the Vampire. Wow. Then you get a casualty from the Bloater. I did that. Then you get plenty more fouls and a casualty from the Rotspawn and more fouls. So I think Nick was following the green ethos there and doing you proud there, Scott, with the amount of fouls.
Yeah, and obviously the Nurgle just shut down passing games just by being Nurgle. So the vampire, who probably have one of the best throwers in the game, like his life just gets a whole lot harder just by being on the same pitch. So you guys probably a running game by the look of it.
It is as well. We'll come on to look about the at the teams as well. So, despite all of those fouls, despite all of the injuries, Mr. Coach Creedy's manages Tom to hold out for that. I think it's his 4th win now of the season. Let's just have a quick look. So, first 1 win, 2 losses, and then 3 on the bounce as well. So, Scott is finding a vein of form with these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and again, he's really stacking up those skills on those key players and leaving the thralls just to be blood banks, effectively.
Scott, he's got a blodge catch runner. Can't get better than that. He's got a sprint sure feet catch runner. So he's got one person to go after the ball with, and he's got one person to take the ball and run away with movement 8. Very, very fast indeed. Strip ball wrestle is I'd like that as a combination on the thrower, especially strength 4 as well. Tackle block on the other strength 4 as well. So he might be rolling to get these, but he is moving. And as Andy said, Vamps are powering up.
Yeah, they even are. They are, even with he's only got 1 blitzer. Not enough treasury to replace it. But like you said, with the skills he's rolled, I think he'll be all right for a game or 2. The thrower, like Cloudburster, like not many people intercept, but now you can't anyway. So if you even get desperate, you've got pass Cloudburster, just absolutely hoof it down the pitch, and he's got the speed to go get it.
And of course, he's got catch, sprint, sure feet to get it, dodge, block, catch, and it just needs a 1-3 up roll, and you can turn off any marking player as well.
Yeah, I last 2 seasons ago, maybe 1 or 2 seasons ago, I went up against John Reeder's Vampires, and even though my team was 0 CTV and his was 1,600 CTV, even with 1.6 million inducements, they wiped the floor with me. The Vamps, once they power up, if you put pro on them, the rerolls, they are horrid. So this could be fun.
Question for both of you then, gents. If you were Coach Crees in this position, you're at 1.4 million in terms of your team value. Do you look to keep it at this team value, or do you just, once you can afford it, do you look to get yourself the second blitzer into the fray, or dare I say it, even the Vargeist? Where would you gents take this team from here?
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because you got the situation of, do you want to give away more inducement money, or do you want to keep it as is? Vargeist, I've never had any luck with it. And again, you need something like break tackle or something on it to just keep it on the pitch or keep it moving. Maybe the blitzer, potentially. How many has he got? He's got 13 players. Maybe a couple more extra linemen. I don't know. Thoughts?
See, I like a big guy. They're not always reliable, but that's the whole big guy thing. But the Vargeist comes with claws and frenzy as standard. He's good for punching a gap and taking down the bigger things. So your trolls, your trees, your mostly dwarves and orcs. Like, there's a lot of high armor things. Claws is really strong in this meta. So I go Vargeist. Plus, it's a cool model. So rule of cool.
It is indeed. It is indeed. I can see why Scott's gone quite thrall heavy there with the 8 thralls. If I was going to go with one personally, I would be going for the Vargas just because I like the sculpt. And I think there are lots of filthy opportunities you can do to them as well. I think when it gets to 1.4 million, as we touched upon earlier, you are giving up inducements. So if you're going to give up 100k, you might as well give up 300k.
Yeah. I see Carl's put that in chat, that why worry about inducements, there's no giants. There's no death zone. There is an awful lot of things that aren't in the game now that were previous season. There's no plethora of like assistant coaches and special staff that used to be able to take to power you up. Weird, different wizards. All these fun things are no longer in the game. So you're going to run out of inducement money eventually. What, are you just going to take cheerleaders or something?
It is. Well, hopefully we can all. We are now in April. Hopefully, gentlemen, a few weeks, and you never know. Maybe GW will decide that they'll get round, maybe potentially, to something. Dare I say it, like an FAQ. That was the final match. As you can see, all bar one were 2-1 wins as well this week. So nice to be consistent. Let's take a quick look at the standings. Let's start with the Horde group. Despite that draw, Andy is still sitting top, now joined by Graham after returning to winning ways. So the heady dwarf elf combo at the top of the league. Graham just one more win to go. Looks like he is looking very good there. However, he behind him does look over his shoulder, and he is seeing behind him cheekiness personified with Mr. James Handley now to third. And of course, Leanne still got 2 games left to get, so still can get into that knockout spot as well. So, going to be a very interesting one in terms of the season. Any thoughts there, gents? Do you think Andy has done enough to get there? And do you think then it's between Graham and James for that second place? Do you think Graham has just done about enough?
Well, he's still got to do another round of Tomb Kings, hasn't he? With his with his dwarfs. Whereas I think Graham's got rid of the most of the scariness. They've got to play each other anyway as well. They've got to play each other. It's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Because, like you say, it's not over for the other 3. They're all very close together on 6, 5, and 3. So yeah, it's all to play for.
It is indeed. Boohoo, says Leanne, can I? Yeah, I did do my maths correct. You could get 11 points, Leanne, but I'm sure you will. So it'll be interesting again about the rematch between yourself and James. That's going to have a big influence on this. Good luck to both Tomb King coaches. And yeah, looking forward now to start seeing the fine end of the season as well. Into the Blades, no games played this week, despite some issues with bookings and dates in the diaries, Mr. Hovel. But I believe Friday is the big night. We will be seeing the rematch for not just Justin versus Chris, Nobility against Lizards, but yourself against the Gnomes. Any thoughts, plans, or just kill as many foxes as you can?
Just try and kill those foxes. I'll just set my dogs on his dogs.
If you take a chainsaw, you only need to roll a 3 to break a fox's armor.
Okay. I don't want to give more inducement money. I did notice that he did have enough for a certain a furry superstar or a star player, so I'll try not to give him any more.
Love the mighty squirrel. Moving on then to Avengers.
Assemble.
Beautiful. Everybody's a winner. Coach Acreedi's moving up there into second place. Will cementing his place at the top. Both coaches on 12, with Will having that game in hand as well. JD just dropping down there to third, but still 2 games left. Another possible, 6 points, could be 16, which would look very strong in terms of that magic number as well. Although young Andy still there, 4 games to go, a possible 12 points to get him up to 16. So the Gobbers, Scott, could still have a big influence on this group.
Yeah, I think all stunty teams are really going to feel the second half of this league. Everyone's powering up. So the second half of the group stage, everyone's powered up. I've barely scraped through and survived. I don't know about the other stunty coaches. So I'm terrified for my next 4. So I'm pretty sure Andy's probably the same. Maybe an APOC and a wandering APOC is like an auto include for the foreseeable.
Oh, well done, well done, Acredes, in their results this week. Just the one match that happened in the Stars group. Simon making sure he cemented his position now in second, 9 points ahead of the Rats of the Freeboot Firkins. The man, the myth, the legend. If he has appeared, he must have disappeared very, very quickly. But John Reader, all green across the board. Enough said. We know he's done that. Joe, despite the 5 losses, scored his first touchdown of the season and really making all impact and inroads into the other coaches' performance. A great result despite that loss. I'm sure we might see him with a win in his next 3 matches before the season is out. On to the Destroyers. The Bruce Breeze now up to that 3rd place. 6 points for Sam there as well. Mark still top of the leaderboard as well. I think the games are coming this week. When's your next match, Mr. Norman?
21st against the Flamingo Pharaohs, who beat the snot out of me game 1. So,
but Doobs has got a very good-looking team.
Yeah, which is, is, if you're going to get absolutely ruined, at least they're doing it in a fashionable way. So,
and that's what we like as well. Let's move on to the Counts group. No matches played in the last week. So the mighty Luke Baggett and the Butchers just ahead of the Prince of Ipswich, Dave Rue there as well. Although Simon's still got a lot of games to play with the Word Hollow Wanderers as well. Just moving on to the last group, there we have the Assassins. There he is, almost up there with Mr. Reader in terms of all those red W's. Just a 1 game left to play for Tom and Carl, both now against Tom and Throg and the Bretonians. The Wood Elves hopefully playing the Vampires later this week. So if we can get a couple of wins, you never know. It's going to be very, very close indeed. That's it for this week. Before we go, very quick sign off, really. Mr. Scott Norman, who's been your coach of the week this week and what's been your game of the week?
I think that grindy 1-1 between Leanne and the Dwarves.
That's your game of the week. Who's your coach of the week?
It's certainly not myself. I know that much. Coach of the week, right? I'm not good with names. He got his first touchdown. Surprise sausage. Sorry, there we go, Joe. It's your first league. You're up against some fantastic opposition, so to get your first one in there, fair play, lad.
Absolutely. Tom, from yourself, game of the week and coach of the week?
I think it would be game of the week is going to be Ramesses Raiders versus EFSF, on the basis that looks like the Elven Union have got their groove back, even though they had a lot of injuries in the second half. And I think I will give my coach of the week to Leanne, because that was a tough game. That really looked like a tough game. There's a lot of very, very good players out there. So well done.
It is indeed well done. For me, my game of the week is going to be the Dwarves versus the Tomb Kings, Andy and Leanne. When coaches have that reaction in Discord, I think that's a great reflection and a great bout for all in the community as well. In terms of coach of the week, I was going to go for Joe for his first touchdown. Congratulations again, Joe. But being a fellow Elf coach, I'm going to give it to Graham. As you said, Tom, he has found his groove, and anything is always good. Yes, so if there's any while you gents think, my bounty of the week is going to go for something on Tom Huns' team, one of his filthy knights who he's waiting to stat. So that's going to be one of my bounties I'm going to be recommending as well. What about yourself, Scott? Anyone who deserves a bounty?
I saw a player and I cannot find them now, but they have Hatred Snotling. And that's just not fair. Re-rolling skulls against the Snotling.
I think I do have a Hatred Snotling Wood Elf there somewhere as well, but we won't talk about that.
So yeah, stop picking on the little stunty guys. So yeah, I can't find it. I'm scrolling like mad. I cannot find it, but there is a player this week that I spotted with Snotling Hatred.
Must be more than one then out there. Mr. Hovel, from you?
I'm going to go for Squillbeard the Filthy with the leap, sidestep, gutter runner.
JD, congratulations! You have thoroughly deserved a beautiful bounty as well. That's it. That's all for your Monday night roundup. We'll be here back again next week. So don't just remember, don't forget, if you do want to get a game in, confirm it with your opposition coach as well, and then get it booked in as needed through the usual manners as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Scott Norman. Thank you very much, Mr. Tom Hovell. I've been Scott, not that one, and this has been your A&DBBL Monday night roundup. We're going to have a drink, a calm down, try and get everything in order, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.